Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Living History Militaria, and today I have a quick little additions video for you. In between the months of newborn chaos, I managed to get my hands on some pretty cool stuff. So, went on a saving binge for a couple of months, but managed to get these cool things for relatively cheap. So, figured I'd go ahead, make a video, and get these things out of the way. So, I'm going to start right over here actually with a couple of patches. Right here I've got this nice Tank Destroyer Forces. This is a four-wheeled variant. And as you can see, pretty plain, other than the fact that it's missing about 3/4 of its wheel over here on the left-hand side. So, little factory error, but it's going to fit in nicely with my Armored Forces box. I'll show you that here. So right here I got a little shadow box with all my Armored Division patches. And I found out, actually, that the Tank Destroyer Forces fit in pretty well into the in-betweens there in between the triangles. So I have two 8-wheel variations. One of them has a Camp Atterby tag on the back of it still from the Post Exchange. And then down here I have two 4-wheeled variants. But as you can see, this one right here kind of also has a factory defect. So I found myself collecting Tank Destroyer Forces patches if they have anything special about them. So, one of my favorite World War II patches, though. And right here, I've been after this one for a long time, and I finally was able to find one that was under $75. Every one that I've seen of the 135th Airborne Division, which was a Phantom or Ghost division, has always been $75 or above. But I found this for pretty cheap. So, really happy to add this one to the Ghost Division patch box. Right here I've got two postcard size photos, and both of them are of Finnish troops, and both of them have German Shepherds, which is pretty cool. I love the dog pictures. So, you can see there, two cute little doggies and their handlers. And then the next one has got just a single Finnish troop and his shepherd. So, really cool additions for some war dogs. I have a whole bunch of those in a scrapbook page that I put together. So, I'm going to go ahead and dive, I think, into the shadow box over here next. Alright, so I lifted the top off so there wasn't a glare. Most of these I've had in the collection, these over here, but these two are new groupings. I kind of put all of my Central New York veterans dog tags and whatnot into this Riker case. So that's going to be the focus on this one, is Central New York veterans, small items, and dog tags. But right here, got a really cool, I'm assuming that this is sterling, silver, or some sort of aluminum. It's not stamped or anything on the back, but this is an ID bracelet to Victor Eugene Wilkins, and he was from Rochester, New York. You can see his service number there, 325476, or might be 7897 or 7697. 7697. There we go. Just the actual bracelet and the actual like tie isn't with it. But if you go on Find a Grave, this picture, the picture of this ID tag is actually on his Find a Grave profile, which is really interesting. So, pretty cool to have this. He was from Rochester, like I said, and he was part of the 416th Night Fighter Squadron, which I guess they were stationed all over England and over in Europe, and they flew advanced nighttime missions, which is really cool. And then up here I got this really nice grouping right here for a really good price. This grouping belonged to Matthew C. Gack from Rochester, New York also. And you can see here he's got a bunch of patches from the 5th Air Force or 5th Air Corps. This one is an Australian-made patch really nice on felt. I don't have any foreign-made patches, so this is a first one for me. And then you have a regular U.S.-made 5th Air Force, and then your photographer specialist patch. It's also got a Sterling badge right here, photographer specialist technician Air Force badge. Came with his collar insignia, and I believe this is his hat badge, his enlisted man. Also has his World War II victory ribbon and his dog tag right there. And he was in, before World War II, he was enlisted with the 209th Coastal Artillery, Company D. And when he was in World War II, he was with the 5th Air Force, obviously, but the 38th Bomb Group. And something interesting, when I researched his name, Mr. Gak, here, a couple of passages popped up from his personal diary online. He actually worked not on an actual bomber, but he worked as a photo developer and also worked on the K-17 Fairchild and K-21 reconnaissance cameras, the big, huge cameras that went and were mounted to the planes, much like this one up here. So if you want, you could research Matthew C. Gak, right there, G-A-C. And if you're interested, or you can look on my Instagram post. I also post the picture of his diary entries there. But he talks about how the boys of the 38th Bomb Group returned and all their missions and whatnot, and how he's been messing around with different types of a housing of some sort for this big, huge camera to be able to mount it to the plane and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Rochester's about an hour away, but I still consider it relatively local to me, central New York. So I thought that that definitely deserved a spot here in my collection. So happy to add that. And I got a couple more things left. Right here, I got this rusty, trusty M5 flak helmet. As you can see here, it's in pretty rough shape. It's got some rust spots. Does not have anything in the liner. The hinges still have some paint on them. I wonder if those might be replacements or not. But big old rust spots. It's pitted. It's in like semi-relic condition. But I got it for $100. So, and I really love the look of these Air Force helmets. No chin strap, no ear padding. There's a little bit left of the liner suspension still attached in there, and a little bit of leather, but nothing as far as the actual suspension rig or straps for that matter. But really cool M5 helmet. The hinges still work, and it displays really nicely, so I figured I'd scoop it up. And last but not least, over here I have another painted helmet, World War I. This is a M1917 Doughboy. So this was U.S. made. And you can see here on the right side of the helmet is the insignia for the 78th Infantry Division. And you can see some nice individual brush strokes in here, as was mentioned in my Instagram posts. Somebody commented and pointed out that the brush strokes in there really make a nice appearance on the patina. So other than that, it does not have a liner. Little bit of discoloration on the top, looks like some scuff marks and whatnot. It's not in the best shape, but I just got it for the painted insignia. My second great grandfather was in the 78th Infantry Division, 303rd Engineer Regiment. So I've always wanted one of the 78th. I have a whole bunch of others up here, so I'm excited to add this one to that. The heat stamp on this one, let's see. I wrote it down actually. It's on my tag, if I can get my tag to flip around without. It's YJ17, I believe. Right down here. You can barely see it, but it might be 73, YJ73, one of the two. It's written down on my tag, and I only have one hand at the moment, so. But There's like a tiny, tiny piece. Might be, I'm not sure if it's the original chin strap or anything like that, or just something that was used to hang this up to whatever it used to be hanging up on. But nice simple shell. World War I, 78th Infantry Division. So that is all I have for this collections video. And hopefully I will have some more here in the future. Oh, actually, you know what? I do have one more thing. I just looked at it and I almost forgot because it wasn't on my table. Let me grab it. Jeez, I can't believe I almost forgot. Right here, we have an awesome 4-pocket dress tunic. And this is to Utica resident Stanley Kanzilawa, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. You can see here, there's a bit of writing. There's also his number, which is on the inside right here, which is 32667877 something. I do have all of his information, though. I already did all the research and everything when I first got this. This has been sitting. He's been sitting in my room for a couple of weeks now. But some nice 2-piece wool patch, believe technical sergeant patches on the sleeves, and Greenland base command patch right here. I forget the name of the place that he was stationed at. I can't pronounce it right off the top of my head. But if we open it up right here, right on the inside pocket, you have Stanley, and then his last name is right here. It's upside down, but Kanzilawa, Kondzielaua, or Lawa. It was also written, I guess. So there was 2 spellings of that, Kanzilawa. But pretty cool to have his information and stuff in there. Unfortunately, there was some unit insignia and stuff right here. He was with the, I believe it was the 40th Ordnance Group, and he was stationed in Greenland. So you can see some ghosting of the collar insignia, but unfortunately the brass is gone. Also, he had a ribbon bar here. You can see where the pins used to be through here. So some pirate unfortunately stole all the brass off of there, but really nice that the patches are still here. So you have your 3-year service stripe patch, 2 years of overseas service bars right here. Again, the really nice rank patches, and then the Greenland base command. So really cool. But he was from Utica, and I have some of his information all tucked away somewhere. It's been a really hectic past couple of months, so I'm kind of scatterbrained, but that's how it goes. So that is all I have for you now. But thank you guys for your continued support, watching me and commenting and all that stuff. I love engaging with you guys. So hopefully we will see you soon. Until then, have a good one. See you later.